Hey everyone, it's your old pal Reed here, and I want to discuss the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. And yes, I probably horrifically flagged myself and I'm on all sorts of lists, computers are booting up, things are linking together, you know, they're gonna be pretty mad I'm gonna talk about this. But we need to talk about this, it's very important. Now, I'm it's like to say, a complete and total idiot when it comes to understanding people as an individual. I often get a lot of things wrong, don't really get that. And one of the people that's been helping me out a lot of understanding in that regard is Steve at Coursera Trainers. Link up here. Go check him out. I said go check him out. Go over there. Go check out Steve. Subscribe to his channel if you don't know who he is. He's a very good teacher and understands human nature. Now, I may be a complete idiot when it comes to understanding individuals and everything else going on there. However, the greater whole and a plot and understanding the direction, sort of the plan and all sorts of stuff like that people move together and put in place, I have a much deeper understanding of. That sort of stuff fits into one of my old jobs, actually. But don't worry about that too much. Just think of me as some internet rando, and for pretty much every purpose, you should treat most people like that, some internet rando. But I want to discuss this and kind of go over a lot of things. Now, for most of us here that are, shall we say, people that use reason and logic, you look at everything being put on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and what's being said, what's being discussed, and everything else, and you're looking at what's being presented by the prosecutor and you're going, what in the... It's pretty darn crazy. So you watch that and you're like, and very confusing. Well then, you watch the mainstream media and they do some clips and you're like, what? And it goes like there. And it's really wild. Well, the problem is obviously a huge disconnect here. See, the prosecutor is not arguing for us. He is not arguing for us at all. See, he's talking to the people that live in the other world. The people viewing the separate movie screen. It's a sort of a thing Scott Adams likes to say, that there's one movie that people are watching, but it's like two different screens. You're sitting in two different theaters sort of things. And I probably got his analogy wrong, but hopefully those of you that like him understand it. And it's a decent analogy. I like that. We both see the same things, both see what's going on, but totally wild conclusions are here. Now, see, the problem is from a lot of us on the other side, we're using logic and reason. We're saying, let's see what everything's going on. Let's see everything related to this, and we will make a decision. And so a lot of us, we consumed a lot of media when this stuff came out. We saw all sorts of videos that were captured by on-the-ground reporters. We saw a bazillion posts all over the place. We saw analysis and all that. And a lot of us had a ton of details. But if you watched a lot of the media and everything else going on, they obviously didn't. Not even close. And in fact, what they were doing was they were taking cuts out to fold things to their plan and their narrative. And basically, in a lot of ways, we'll abbreviate the plan and narrative to be, self-defense is bad, we must remove the right to self-defense anyway. We don't want people walking around out there with guns. Only the government should have any ability to use force in any way. Now, you can disagree with that sort of brevity of what I'm sort of laying out the plan is, but the theme is pretty similar. If you have comments or something like that, just leave them down there and we'll discuss it out. Well, that's sort of what is going on. Well, the prosecutor in the trial, that's what he's aiming for. He's talking to those people. See, they're operating from a condition and a plan of, we need to convict Kyle. He should not be out there in any way. He does not have the right to be there and doing anything under any circumstances. That's what he's talking to, these people. So he's basically hanging stuff out there, putting things out, putting this out, putting that out, putting here, to give these people the moral assurances that they can do this. They can convict, and they are right to do so. I know, you look at the video and all that, and you're like, Reed, how in God's name can these people do that and think that way? I don't know. Like I said, I'm an idiot about individual people. But that's what they're aiming for. And I've got a lot of really, really big concerns about how this trial is going to go and how it's going to come out. Now, what do I want? I want them to come in for deliberations today or tomorrow morning, depending on when this video is actually posted here, hopefully very quickly. They'll go in, sit down, have their cup of coffee, and go, vote? Yeah, not guilty. All around. That's it. Come to the courtroom, judge, not guilty. And he goes home. That's what I want. That's what the law says. That's what the facts say. Not guilty all the way around. Guy should go home. Was righteous in his cause, was righteous in what he's doing, and everything just went to crap on him and did the best he could with the complete and utter crap sandwich he was handed. And I gotta admit, he had really good self-control. Really good self-control on that. But, like I said, I've got concerns. Well, the problem is the jury selection process went fast. Really fast. Look at a lot of other high-profile cases. Jury process goes a lot longer. They're a lot more careful in who they're picking. Everything is like that. And I'm really concerned we got what I would say bad jurors on the team. And what do I mean when I'm saying bad jurors? I mean these are activists. They're there to make their point. And in this case, the point is he's guilty. Doesn't matter anything else there. He's guilty. And see, I think the chances of getting a conviction all the way around, low. All right, I will say that I believe that is low. I think the chances for a hung jury in a mistrial, very high. And I mean very high. In fact, that's what I think is the most likely scenario in this. I think they're going to get in there. You're going to have these opposing sides. They're going to be arguing, bickering, and nothing happens. So they can't reach a verdict. Judge come back says, well, it's a mistrial. Now, the question is, based on some other stuff that happened with the prosecutor, could they say it's a mistrial and the case is dismissed with prejudice so they can't bring it back and Kyle's free? That'd be good for Kyle. I agree that is good for Kyle, and that's a great thing. However, they would still win their objectives for the activists. The reason why I say that is they are trying to damage the cause of self-defense across the nation. They're trying to damage the ability for, the Second Amendment across the nation, all the way. And be able to say this is a mistrial that puts a huge, deep, chilling effect right across everything like that. They'll forever be able to use this case as an example. Look at what all the horrors this person did. These people should not ever be out there defending their property or doing anything in their community and all that. That should only be the police. And if the riot is horrifically bad and all the police have to evacuate for their own safety, well, you don't even get to defend yourself. That's really what it feels like they're aiming for. Well, let me rephrase that. That's what they're aiming for. Okay? That's it. They're going for it. They want us to be in the same position as like people in the UK, where if someone breaks into your house and your home like that, you better fully cooperate, because if you try to do anything in any way, you're getting arrested. Yeah, that's what they want. Now, for deeper whys, that's other videos, but that's what they're going for. And by not getting a strong not guilty across the board for Kyle, it's a big problem. Big problem, because they're going to still be able to march along even further. We get a good, strong not guilty. Well, that puts a big chill in our direction, saying, hey, you do ugly, horrible things. You act like horrible writers and all that stuff. People have a right to defend themselves, their property, and their loved ones. And you could suffer dire consequences for it. And that's what I want the message to be, Obviously, unfortunately, Kyle is caught up in this whole horrific mess. Now, like I said, I see mistrial as the most likely. Fortunately, I'm also still quite concerned about conviction. I see it as quite possible. The reason why, what if we get some other activists, like we say, activists there in the jury box? They're there debating all this stuff, but they start arguing in different directions. They're not arguing about the case. They're not saying we're not going to budge on that. They start saying, if you don't convict, the mob will come for you and burn your house down. Yeah. That's exactly the big one I'm worried about for this poor kid. They get some of those in there. They get a couple in there. Maybe just two probably is all it takes. And they could institute enough fear in that jury box. Not saying they're going to do it, not saying they're going to rat them out or whatever, but they get enough fear in there. Remember that guy that came running up to us that was filming us as we were getting ready to go on the bus? Well, the judge may have, had the cops get a hold of him, get the video off his phone, but you don't know if it's up in the cloud. How do we know? They've got our faces, man. They're going to come for us. They're going to get us all. Yeah, you can see what they're aiming for. It's pretty obvious. And unfortunately, we got some activists there. They could really push the fear button. And if anything else, you and all of us have seen over this last 2 years dealing with the pandemic, well, fear definitely overrides a lot of reason. Lots of reason. I've been seeing lots of people make all sorts of decisions based on fear, and well, I just don't have much faith in a lot of other people that I used to anymore. I sure don't. But this would be really catastrophic. Not only is Kyle facing life in prison, but you've got an affirming victory for them to squash self-defense all over the country, to make sweeping changes and working on national level legislation. That's a big problem. Big, big problem. Horrible problem. Horrible, horrible condition, actually. And that's what I'm deeply concerned is going to happen. Now, believe it or not, there's actually stuff that you and I, as the average person, could do to fight this type of mob tyranny. And that's what it is mob rule, mob tyranny. That's why raw democracy is a horrible, horrific thing. People that say, well, I'm in the majority, so if you don't have a vaccine, you got to stay home. Yeah, I got a lot of videos actually coming on that sort of topic. I got lots of things I'm going to talk about. And honestly, I don't care. They ain't shutting me up anymore. That's another topic. Anyways, what can we do? Well, a lot of things is, you could actually say, hey, if you are really terrified of something like that, and you were on this trial as a jury member, I will host you in a guest house or something, or set you up, and, we will keep you safe. If it takes years for you to write it out so the pressure leaves, I will make certain you are safe. Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? This is civic responsibility sort of an idea. The mob's out there saying we're going to threaten you, we're going to hurt you if you don't do what we want. We got to say, no, we will keep you safe. We have resources, we have people, we can work to make certain you're safe. So you are free to make the right decision. And this is where the old phrase, Steve likes to say, get off the darn couch and put down the Cheeto bag, comes into play. It means we need to get involved and fill and get busy in the court of public opinion. Some of our more, wealthier members in the cause, so to speak, you need to get up there and say, if you've got issues like that, I will hire a private security team to protect you. I just ask that you make a decision based upon the facts and the law and not worry about the public pressure from the outside. That's sort of a discussion. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Reed, you're absolutely crazy about thinking like this. But am I? This is get off the couch time, everyone. We got a lot to accomplish, and I got lots coming too. And I'll explain also soon why the heck I was missing for so long. Complicated issues. But anyways, I'm really concerned, and I absolutely hope Kyle gets off, and that it is not guilty across the board, and the right to self-defense and the preservation of life and property is affirmed. But I'm gravely concerned here. And unfortunately, the poor kid is just caught up in the middle of this giant nightmare of a mess. So Godspeed to you, Kyle, and good luck. I'll take care, everyone. This is Reed, out for now. Hey everyone, it's Reed. Today, I want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. Yes, I probably just flagged myself horribly by using the name, but this is